Hello, my Wandrums Warriors again. This is Thursday, only a couple days away from spring break. Well, actually, you guys only have one more day till spring break. Yippee. Me too. Only one more day till spring break. Today is Thursday, March 31st, and today we're going to be learning about the area of a circle. Previously, on previous episodes, we learned about the radius of a circle. From the center point to the edge is called a radius. From one edge across the middle all the way to the other side, splitting the circle in half, is called the diameter. We know that. And the distance around a circle, or the perimeter of a circle, is called the circumference. We also talked about circumference equals pi times diameter. Pi is always going to be 3.14, so we're going to take 3.14 times the diameter. If we're finding the circumference here, we would go 3.14 times 8, and that would give us the circumference. Okay, so that's just a little review of circumference. We also, yesterday, we drew circles. You used the compass, and you made 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, 5 inch circles. Then you guys decorated them. Some of you guys made little faces out of them, and they were very fabulous little faces. In fact, I think Leroy took one of them and made my face, and it's hanging on the board. That's scary. But anyways, today we're going to talk about the area of a circle. The area is the space inside a circle. So we want to know the area of a circle. We want to know how much space is inside this circle. So you're thinking, why would I need to know that ever? Well, let's say you had a circular table and you had to paint it. Let's say you had a circular room and you had to carpet it. You would need to know the area of the room. You'd need to know the area of the table. You need to know the area of a circle. There's a formula that we follow for area of a circle. Now, this is where I want you to pay attention real good, and I want you to start to write notes. Area of a circle equals pi times radius squared. Now, squared, oh, so you're going pi times the radius times 2. But no. Write this in your notes and make sure you're clear. Radius squared doesn't mean radius times 2. No, 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 no. It means radius times radius. It means the radius times itself. So we could actually look at that and we could say area equals pi times radius, because that's what radius squares means. So let's look at this first one and let's practice that formula a little bit. We've got 6 centimeters as the radius. Now, that would mean we plug that formula in. We're going to call pi, for our purposes right here, 3.14. So we're going to say 3.14 times 6 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. So we're going to go 3.14 times 36. 6 times 4 is 24. Carry your 2. 6, 7, 8. 6 times 3 is 18. You know how I like it when you say it while I'm saying it. I like it that way. 3 times 4 is 12. Carry the 1. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1, 4. 3 times 3 is 9. I wrote sideways, but I still lined them up pretty good. 4 plus 0 is 4. 8 plus 2, 10. Carry the 1. 8 and 1, 9. 4, 13. Carry the 1. 9, 10, 11. Sound like a robot. Now we count the decimals. 1, 2. 1, 2. So, the area of this circle is 113 and 4/100. Okay? So I put A equals. That's the area. Now let's look at this second one. Notice on this one they're giving us the diameter. Now if you remember back to what we learned previously, the diameter is double the radius. So if the diameter is 8, that would make the radius what? You guys had said 4. You're exactly right. That would be 4. So 4 feet would be the radius. Now we're going to plug in that same formula. So it would be 3.14 times 4 times 4. Or another way you might see it, I want you to be familiar with this, 3.14 times 4 squared. Notice the 2 is up at the top. That means 4 times 4. So 4 times 4 is 16. So now we have 3.14 times 16. 6 times 4 is 24. Carry the 2. 6, 7, 8. 6 times 3 is 18. Oh, that looks familiar. Same as over here. Put our 0. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. I love it when that happens. We get 4, 12, carry the 1, 8, 9, 10, 0, carry the 1, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 1, 2. So the area of this circle is 50 and 24/100ths. We always write area equals. So in your notes right now, you should have the formula for the area of a circle. You should have it headed at the top with the date. Make sure that date's on there. It should be in a spiral. If you don't have one over spring break, try to go to Walmart, try to go to Walgreens, try to go to somewhere and get yourself a spiral notebook or a composition notebook so you can keep all your notes in there. I'll be checking these notes tomorrow, actually, Friday. I'm going to check them, and it's going to be for a grade. Parents, if you're listening, they need to have these notes done for a grade. When I sit with these kids in class and go over, we do our homework in class, you'd be amazed at how much they remember from what they watched the previous day on the videos. I got a feeling this is working. This is going to work good, so make sure they take those notes. We should have area equals pi times radius, or area equals pi times radius squared. Let's practice some more. Okay, on the last one, we used 3.14 for pi. On this one, we're going to change it up a little bit, and we're going to use 22/7 to represent pi. We're still going to use the same formula, area equals pi times radius. Okay, so now we got 7 centimeters, but instead of using 3.14 times radius, we're going to use 22/7. So in this one we have 7 centimeters. They gave us the actual radius. We love it when they do that. So we're going to take 7 times 7. That would be this part, 7 times 7, which is 49. So we're going to put equals 49. Go ahead and put your time sign in there. Okay, now we're going to go times pi, which is 22/7. So you literally have to go 22/7. Let's close this. 22/7 times 49. Okay, over 1. 7 goes into 7 once. 7 goes into 49 7 times. So now we have 22 times 7. 7 times 2 is 14. Carry the 1. 7 times 2 is 14 plus 1 is 15. We get 154. So that would be over 1. 1 times 1 is 1. So our area equals 154 centimeters. Look, I wrote an M instead of a 4. I know you guys love it when I do that in class. You raise your hand. Sosby did it to me today. Sosby raised her hand and said, "You forgot the 1," or whatever she said. Make me embarrassed in front of the whole class. But it's all good. 154 centimeters, and we're finding area. Whenever we find area, area is in squares, square centimeters, square feet, so we got to put squared. Okay? That's something that I failed to mention on that first page. Oh, silly me. In fact, I didn't even put centimeters squared. This one would have been feet squared. So we go back and fix that. Mr. Wandrum's not perfect. Actually, I'm not perfect. I'm not fond of calling myself Mr. Wandrum or Master W or whatever you guys like to call me. Sosby called me T1. Now that's not appropriate. Come on now. Mr. Wandrum. Okay, let's look at this one now. Now this one gets a little bit more, I'm not going to say it's hard, but it's a little different because it's 7 inches and it's the diameter. So we have to take half of that to get the radius. So we're going to go 7 divided by 2. 2 goes into 7 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. 7 minus 6 is 1. Let's put a decimal and a 0. Bring the 0 down. That's 5. 5 times 2 is 10. Okay, so we get the radius equals 3.5. Now we got to go radius times radius. Remember when we plug that in? So we got to go, let's say 35 times 35. And then we put the decimals in between. Now let's start off by pretending like the decimals aren't even there. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 15, 16, 17. Put my 0. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry the 1. 3 times 3 is 9. 10. So put my 10. We get 5. Oh, that's an ugly 5. 2. Carry the 1. 1, 2. And then 1. So we get 1 here, 1 here, 1, 2. So we get 12 and 25/100ths. But now we have to multiply that by pi. It's a fraction, 22/7. So let's make ourselves some room here. 12 and 25, I got to remember that. 12 and 25. We got 22 sevenths times 12 and 25. So I'm going to go 22 times 12.25 first. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times, carry the 1, 4, 5. Well, that's 4, that's a 2, that's a 0. And then it's going to be the same stuff. 0, 5, 4, 2. And then we add them up. 0, 5, 9, 6, 2. So then move the decimal twice. 1, 2. So we get 269 and 5/10 or 50/100, either way. Then we have to divide that by 7 because 22, it's 7 times 1, it's going to be over here, so it's going to be divided by 7. 7 goes up, got to erase again, running out of room here with the area. 7 goes into 26, 3, 4, 4, 3 times, which is 21. That's a 5, that's a 9. 7 goes into that. 8 times 7 is 56. We get 35. 7 goes into 35 5 times. 5 times is 35. You're going to get a 0. That's going to be a 0. So our answer is going to be 38.5. Our area equals 38.5 inches squared. Okay? Now, on this next one, let's say they give you a semicircle. And from a semicircle, just from the semicircle, they want you to find what the area would be of the whole circle. Even though they're not showing a whole circle, they're saying, what would the area be of the whole circle if I give you this semicircle? Well, dude, the semicircle shows us that the diameter is 16, so half of 16 is going to be 8. Now we have our radius. We're going to go back to using 3.14. So you take 3.14 times 8 times 8. 8 times 8 is 64. So we're going to go 3.14 times 64. 4 times 4, 16. Carry the 1. 4, 5. Look at that 6. That's terrible. 4 times 3, 12. So put our 0. 6 times 4, 24. Carry our 2. 6, 7, 8. 6 times 3 is 18. Find myself writing sideways all the time. 9, 0. Carry the 1. 8, 9, 10. 0. Carry the 1. 2. So we get 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so we get the whole circle would be 296 hundredths. And that's in inches squared. If they wanted to know the area of just the semicircle, well, the semicircle is half a circle. So then you divide the whole thing by 2. Let's do that if they wanted to know the semicircle. Just find the whole circle and then divide by 2. So this is going to be 1, 0, 0. This is going to be 4. And then this is going to be 8. So it's going to be 148 hundredths inches squared for the semicircle. Okay, this is the last one we're going to do. What if they gave you, no, we're going to do one more after this, but what if they gave you just this portion of a circle? Okay, that's 1/4 of a circle. The other one was a semicircle. This is like a quadrant. It's only 1/4 of a circle. They give us the radius, so we're going to go 3.14 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 3.14 times 16. 6 times 4 is 24. Carry the 2. 6, 7, 8. 6 times 3 is 18. Put our 0. 1 times 4. 1 times 1. 1 times 3. 4. 2. Carry the 1. 8, 9, 10. 0. Carry the 1. 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay? So the whole circle would have an area of 50.24. But we want to know what just this 1/4 of it is. So we're going to divide it by 4, and that's going to let us know what 1/4. That's 1, that's 4, that's 10, that's 2, that's 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. Bring down the 2. 4 goes in that. 5 times 4 is 20. Subtract, you get 2. That's a 6. 6 times 4 is 24. You get 0. Bring your decimal up. So just this portion right here is going to be 12 and 56 hundredths feet squared. Okay, this is the last one we're going to do for practice. A circle has 3/4 of its area shaded. The radius of the circle is 10 inches. Find the area of the shaded region. Okay, so first of all, let's find the area of the whole thing. We know that The radius is 10 inches. So we're going to go 3.14 times 10 times 10. 10 times 10 is 100. So we got to go 3.14 times 100. That's just going to give us 314. Okay? So our answer is going to be 314 for the whole thing. But we don't want the whole thing. We just want 3 sections out of 4. So let's divide 314 by 4, figure out how much is in each section. 7, 28. 31 minus 28 is going to be 3 and then a 4. 4 goes into 34. Let's see, 7, 8. 8 times would be 32. You get left over 2. Put a decimal in a 0. Bring the 0 down. Goes 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 minus 20 is 0. Bring your decimal up. So that tells us that every one of these parts is worth 78 and 5/10. 78 and 5/10. And we only want the area of 3 of them. So we're going to go 78 and 5/10 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15. Carry the 1. 8 times 3, 24. Plus 1 is 25. Carry the 2. 7 times 3 is 21. 22, 23. So 23. One place, one place. So our area is going to equal 235 and 5/10, and it was inches squared. Okay, that took a little bit over 16 minutes, a pretty long one, but hopefully you understand now how to find the area of a circle. Go back and review that formula. Area equals pi times radius, or sometimes pi times radius squared. And try some practice problems. You can also find, some problems on the internet or draw some circles of your own. Practice a little bit and see how comfortable you feel with it. I'll see you tomorrow so we can do our homework in class.